Hey Clashers, we're going to get new equipments for the Minion prints in 2025 and we're going to get new heroes in the future of Clash of Clans. Many things were discussed in the newest video of Judo where he was interviewing Ferry, one of the community managers of Clash of Clans. And I think we should talk today about a couple of those talking points because I felt like they covered quite a lot of interesting things. And the first question which there was is, why was the Eagle merged together with the Town Hall to create Town Hall 17? The answer is, well, to make the game feel fresh. I think this is one of the successes or one of the reasons for the success of Clash of Clans still going strong after over 12.5 years, that the gameplay feels fresh. And for that, you need always those changes. Merging together the Eagle and the Town Hall is quite interesting because obviously it did make the Town Hall weaker, but they buffed the other things around, which overall gave a complete new complexity to the game and changed the balance as well. But for everyone who is missing the Eagle Artillery too much, Supercell confirmed already that there is going to be an Eagle Artillery decoration which you can set up in your village. And it's really likely that there is more decorations coming if there is another key defense getting merged away. So that's something to look out for on top of that. But talking about defenses and everything, we should talk about the meta as well of Town Hall 17. Because the goal was to have it easier than Town Hall 15, but harder than Town Hall 16. And I think so far we're on a solid way. I feel like the only thing which is kind of stopping the current goal is electro boost, because that thing is shaking things up quite a lot, I would say, overall when it comes down to the meta, when it comes down to the difficulty level of Town Level 17. Because I feel like before that, the meta was pretty solid. We had a lot of viable strategies and a lot of things were playable, and that was exactly the goal when it comes down to balance from Supercell. And talking about the balance on top, Supercell acknowledged as well that the nerfs, the balance changes which we recently had, were really poorly timed. So they're trying to aim for the future if there's any more balance changes, that they're going to announce that in advance and trying to not have that happen right before the Clan War League, which is something we should really appreciate and which should be kind of normal. But hey, that's at least something, right? A really interesting side note from Ferry was that they're trying to find ways so players can play on their difficulty that is suitable for them. That to me sounds interesting because we have that currently in the basic form, or we have the hard mode for pros and the rest of the game for the rest of the players. But this kind of sounds like that they want to have more modes coming to the game, which I'm not really sure if I would like that. Having like 10 different modes of like, okay, this is 5% harder, this is 10% harder, this is like, that would feel a little bit weird, but I'm not sure. Maybe that's just me. Let me know what you would feel about if we have 10 different game modes, just to make sure that everyone has a meta for them, which I'm really not sure if that would be a good way. Maybe he meant something different, but this is how it kind of sounded to me, which it feels weird in my eyes. But I think we should get towards the fun part, the equipment topic and the hero topic. Let's start things off with the heroes, because we had during the summer an event where you could upgrade your heroes and at the same time use your heroes while they're upgrading. This was really cool, but it is not off the table. But if it's coming back, it's really going to be at like special occasions and it's not going to be as long as the last one. What Supercell is more trying to do currently is with adding more heroes, that you can always keep heroes under construction while you still have the main force of your power, because you have currently more heroes than you can actually use. And they're not planning to really change that limit of 4 heroes per attack, because that would make things too complex. So if they would add more heroes, which they pretty much confirmed with this approach, then we could have 1, 2, 3, 4 heroes under construction, while we still have our 4 remaining heroes which you can use for clan war, for attacks in general, which means you can still farm ores for equipments, for example, which would be highly appreciated. And Judo asked as well if the new heroes are going to be added again for the lower town hall levels or again for the higher town levels. Obviously, there's a huge argument for adding them at the lower levels because that is content which nearly everyone can access. On the other side though, Ferry mentioned that adding a new hero on a lower town hall can be a nightmare as well to balance, because, well, we have already those existing town level, which we don't really change too much, like balancing wise when it comes down to defensive power, and a complete new hero getting thrown into this, that can cause some problems. So we don't know yet where it's going to be added. They're still discussing it. There is no answer on this yet, but obviously both are options for sure. But if we're talking about the upgrades as well, we need to upgrade Hero Hall now, which is another topic which the community did not like that much. Overall, that was quite surprising to Supercell, he said, because, well, we have this system already in the game for pretty much everything else. If you want to upgrade, you need to upgrade your laboratory to research. If you want to have the new troop, you need to upgrade your town hall and then the barracks, and so on. So having to upgrade now the hero hall to be able to unlock the new level of the heroes is a complete common mechanic overall in the game and nothing new. So they were surprised by the negative feedback there, and they're still discussing and still collecting the feedback if they're going to change anything, and if they're changing something, what exactly has to be changed. But they're acknowledging that there is a problem, at least from the community side. But we have now talked about the new heroes and everything. We should talk about our newest hero a little bit further, because let's talk about 2025 and the equipment for the Minion Prince. The Minion Prince is going to get in 2025 2 common ones and at least 1 epic. The next information is that the epic won't be released in the first quarter of 2025, which means in January, February and March we're not going to see one of this, like we won't see the epic equipment for the Minion Prince. But something we might see is going to be 2 common equipments, because this is what Supercell is always aiming for when it comes down to every hero. 4 common and then just keep adding epic equipments. So common equipments, if you want to have them upgraded, make sure that you're saving your ores. And talking about equipments and ores, Supercell has as well said that the equipments are like the long form content, which means it's supposed to take a really long time to upgrade them, which means you have to pick wisely which equipment you want to upgrade and which equipment is fitting the best for your playstyle. Well, I can understand that in the end Clash of Clans is a long form upgrade game where you are supposed to slowly progress through the game, but at the same time I can fully understand complaints from the community that it can be tricky to really decide which equipment to go for, because just recently we had some equipments getting released way too strong and some of them getting released a little bit on the weaker side, like the Lava Loon Puppet. As well, the electro boots, by now, I'm pretty convinced that we're going to see some balance changes over there at some point, because, I mean, they are just really strong. But this means, how do you invest your ores? This is a problem which he did not really touch on, but this is something which I see really problematic moving forward. As well, he said that moving forward, equipment will be able to be obtained not only with events, and not only with gems. There's going to be more options in the future, which I think is really important, because if you're a new player starting the game, the ores are not really the problem. If you're smart and rush your trophies really high, really quickly, you are swimming in ores. They are no problem whatsoever. On the other side though, getting the old epic equipments can be a nightmare, because every single epic equipment is costing 1,500 gems, which you have missed. And if it's just 1 or 2, yes, you can farm them quite quickly with like removing obstacles and everything. But having to get like 6, 8, 10, even more epic equipments, that can be a really big problem. And that can take way too many of your gems, because you want to spend them on the, I don't know, Goblin Builder or any of the Apprentice Builder, the Apprentice Researcher. Like, there's many options to spend your gems, and you don't want to spend them all on equipments. So that is something I'm looking forward for the future, where they're going to provide more options to really get those equipments. But overall, it was a really fun thing to listen to. If you have not watched the video of Judo, you should for sure check it out. And let me know what type of hero you would like to see in the future of Clash of Clans. And I'm not saying you want to have the Goblin King or something. No, what type of space should that hero fill? Do you want to have a support hero, a carry hero, air, ground, whatever? Or maybe a super minor underground? That would be something which we don't have just yet. And that would be quite exciting, I think. So I'm looking forward to the future of Clash of Clans. And I'm looking forward to see what your feedback is for this Q&A. And if you have any ideas, which then I can pass forward to Supercell on top. Otherwise, as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys back tomorrow with the next one. See ya, and bye-bye.